Hi.
Hi.
What's up, man?
Well,
welcome to episode 51 of the Dangerously Strange podcast. I'm your host, Benny David. And with me, as always, my super dope co-host.
I'm a co-dosed.
Co-dosed.
You need to get co-dosed.
I do need to get co-dosed. I'm not even
Pre-dosed.
pre-dosed.
Undosed.
Singularly dosed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of just banking on all you guys are going to start dropping, passing out on the street and shit, and then I'm going to feel like a really smart guy.
Sure.
But really, it's just pure laziness on my part. Lefty Odin beer.
Oh, right. The co-dosed.
The co-dosed.
This week is going to be even worse than last week.
That's super positive outlook on life. What do you mean exactly?
I just meant this episode might be low-key.
Yeah, well, I'm a little under the weather because I haven't been dosed.
Yeah.
And that's not why. I just probably overate. No, but we're just feeling a little low today. But we decided to show up and not call in sick on you guys because likely if we didn't do it today, at least from my end, it would probably been until next week before we had gotten together.
Right.
So for the sake of keeping it rolling, here we are, servicing you in your ear holes with our talented tongues.
Oh.
Yeah. Just like it sounds.
Speaking of servicing the ear holes, I'm going to real quick do one of these and say, hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb. Oh, she didn't do it. She's doing it on my phone instead.
Well, at one of these episodes,
Yeah.
It's going to be Siri as our guest because she makes heavy appearances in the last few episodes.
Right? Turn on Do Not Disturb.
Okay, I turned on Do Not Disturb.
Great.
Welcome back after that pop-in from Siri. Let's see. What's been on my mind recently? Been barbecuing a lot again. Pretty into that. Yeah. We did stuffed burgers, tri-tip, and chicken yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, and these stuffed burgers were basically held together with seasoned blended mushrooms and peppers and onions.
Okay.
Yeah, they went on the grill pretty juicy, but it made them virtually impossible to burn. You
had made some stuffed burgers last week? I got a picture?
Yeah, it was a similar deal, but we had company over. I was going to shoot you an invite, but it was kind of a thrown together thing, and then you said you weren't in town. So
right, you hit me up. Yeah. So I don't feel left out.
So that's what we did. It was kind of cool to have like a regular sort of gathering. It was a small one, but
Yeah.
We saw family that we hadn't seen in a hot second and did normal things and ate and drank and were merry, and some people got angry and some people cried, and it was good. Just like old times.
Yeah. That's nice.
Am I that quiet that you had to speak?
I feel like I looked at it and it was like, even though you're standing in front of it and I'm to the side of it, it was equidistant from us.
It was equidistant.
Right.
Okay.
So now it's a little closer on you.
For sure. Always looking out for me.
Yeah.
Such a good co-host.
I try. Me? My week,
you snap at anybody in any convenience stores for violating your personal space?
Oh, let's see. Who did I go off on this week? I don't think I had any COVID issues this week. Yeah, no. My week was busy with doctor's appointments for mom. Much like most of my weeks the last little while.
Yeah, I can see it like on your face that you've had like a taxing last little bit. You look underslept.
Yeah.
I mean that with all due respect, but
no, I'm very underslept. I definitely am sleeping like 4 hours a night, maybe 6 on a really good, lucky time.
Yeah. That's right. Take that, bitch.
Yeah.
Been on that schedule for 10 years.
Shit. I'm at it for 3 months. And I'm like, I mean, it's okay when I don't have to commute every single day.
Yeah, I was going to just bring that up. It's probably like intensely more difficult to deal with being on the road so much because I don't know. I can't imagine having to drive hours multiple times per week. I can't. But I commute 30 minutes to work and I almost fall asleep.
Right, and I'm doing like 4 hours a day of commuting.
That's absurd. And then working on the road as well.
Yeah, and then when on the days that I'm able to work, I'm driving a couple hundred miles. If it's a good day, I'm driving over 100 miles just of working.
Yeah.
So yesterday was a good day. I made like $100.
Yeah, 100 complete or tips $100.
I made 100, like a little under 100. I hit my 250th delivery.
All right. Did they give you like a T-shirt or something?
They gave me like a little screen that popped up after I completed my 250th delivery that says 250. We're stoked. Are you?
And you're like, oh wow, I didn't plan on doing this long.
Well, no. I mean, realistically, I was kind of like, damn, I haven't been working enough.
Oh,
but it averages out to like I went and looked at my payouts, and it's almost exactly $10 per delivery. So
you're falling into the trap, man. I can see it. I got to say it.
What's the trap?
You're like working basically an hourly job now.
Pretty much, but it's better pay than a hourly job.
I know.
Maybe. Once we talk about car maintenance, gas,
you're the entrepreneur of our collective here.
My own insurance.
Yeah, you should be out there trying to sell people car insurance and painting curbs and fucking whatever else you were doing, selling matchbooks.
Yeah, I'm still
with QR codes on them.
I was giving those matchbooks away. Actually, I could get back into that because now people actually use QR codes. I think the last time we talked about this, that was my same thing I said was I should try and jump that back up.
Yeah, that was like a year ago.
Oh yeah. Still painting curbs, not a lot, just because a lot of people already have their curbs painted.
How does that process go for you? Do you just go like door to door and hit people up like, hey, I noticed that you have an address. would you like to spread the word?
Or like, would you like to promote that?
Yeah.
That seems like something you'd want people driving by to know.
I was walking by and I noticed that it was kind of hard to see your address from the street. Do you like getting mail? Would you like to somehow streamline that process?
Yeah, that actually is pretty much how it goes.
And people are just like, yeah, sure. Here's $20.
Yep.
That's crazy to me. I can't even imagine like asking somebody that question with a straight face. Not to be insulting, but just being like, hey, I know you probably don't know that you need this, but I'm going to tell you why you probably need this. One reason, mail, which is also going out of business.
Well, it's more, the selling point is more about like emergency vehicles.
Okay, yeah.
And delivery drivers. Not mail, but like me, like somebody who's coming to drop you off your food or whatever.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Most of the people who say yes are people who go, oh, I've been meaning to do that for months. So.
But since I don't feel like walking to the curb, here's $20. $20 seems high.
But it's not walking to the curb, right? This is the same thing like why you buy a $2.50 soda at the vending machine is because it's right there and it's cold, right? Versus it's not just walk to the curb and spray paint it. It's go to Home Depot, buy stencils, buy spray paint, buy tape.
Yeah.
scrub your curb clean.
In that moment, you certainly have the leverage for sure, and the convenience factor going for you.
Right.
It just to me seems high. $20 seems high.
It's going to cost you $20 to do it yourself. Is the real, like, if you really think about it, like.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at it through the lens of like growing up and always just having old paint in the garage and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and hey, if you want to paint your curb with a bucket of old paint and a paintbrush, go for it, right? You're going to be out here looking like a kid's lemonade stand for your address.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, hopefully your fives won't be backwards or whatever.
You should say some of those, like, high school age taggers that we spent so much time around back in the day. They probably do a dope-ass job. Probably wouldn't be legible, but it'd look cool as fuck.
Oh, yeah, it'd be dope.
They had put their own shit next to it, like, $54.95 meat. Boy, or whatever the fuck they were.
Meat, you know. Did he die yet?
I don't know who that is. I mean, I know that there was a meat tag, but I don't know the man behind the beef.
No, I'm conflating some. I think he had like hepatitis or something. He didn't have something he was going to die from.
Oh, it's just like,
I thought he had AIDS, but I think that was a different person.
Did you know a lot of people with AIDS? Do you have AIDS?
I don't think so. No, I thought he was in jail. You know, he got put in jail when they did that like big crackdown on graffiti like 10 years ago. They put him in jail for like a year for graffiti.
Which seems absurd at this point because you look around Stockton and you're like, well, I mean, is it? I feel like it makes it look a little better, maybe. If anything.
Yeah, at least
takes your eyes away from the dirt.
Yeah, from the fucking falling apart buildings and shit.
Yeah,
but you know, Stockton
for sure. It's just generating revenue.
Gang related, I think, was what they were trying to situate it as, and there was
quote unquote like crews and stuff that and I'm sure that there was fights and shit. And other stuff.
But like,
I don't know.
Meat was not doing gang related activity. You know what I mean? He was drawing pictures of flowers and stuff, like, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't hit the streets again. And
I think he got out of jail and started doing canvases. Oh. I think he does like graffiti art now.
So he has legitimate talent. That's cool.
Well, I don't want to talk shit, but I think he's just doing the same stuff, but now he does it on canvas.
Okay.
It's creative. It's cool. It's some kind of talent.
Some of those like taggers that, you know, I had classes with or whatever, they had like really impressive sketchbooks and shit. I flip through them and be like, Jesus Christ, like you have actual artistic ability, and then they just go outside and like carve their name into a door or something. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, well, you're going to be working at Safeway.
Yep. Which, I mean, that happens to a lot of people with a lot of creative.
Look at us. As I'm talking shit, I'm like, I make dog food. So,
right. Shit.
Get a podcast and get all cocky about it all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My bad, meat.
Yeah.
Come on the show.
R.I.P. if you're dead.
And if you're not dead, do you have AIDS?
Oh my God. Come on the show, bro.
Yeah. AIDS isn't even like as big of a deal as it was 10 years ago, right? Like when you use it as a punchline, it just doesn't pack the same. It's not like it's big of a hitter. Is it? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think
Magic Johnson's had AIDS for 30 years and he's healthier than I've ever been in my entire life.
Right.
He's got rich AIDS though.
Yeah, everybody who was gonna die from the big AIDS thing died already. So now you can make jokes about it.
Right. It's like worse news to get a positive COVID test right now than it is. Maybe not long term, but
oh my God. We're editing all of this out. I'm not putting AIDS jokes on the internet.
What? What do you want to put? More white supremacist jokes?
Yeah, I guess when you put it like that, we'll keep the AIDS jokes in.
Yeah, let's keep it off. I mean,
There's good medicine now for AIDS, as well as say, to keep you alive. And
yeah, there's like crazy
healthy
therapeutics, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just a matter of as long as you have health insurance, probably
Sure.
fine.
Sure.
I would, AIDS doesn't like really show up either. So that's it's not like getting herpes or warts or something.
Well, I think it shows up. It's just like you get really sick and die. He doesn't
without the therapeutics that we just talked about.
Right.
Yeah, we can get off AIDS. I just was concerned for me.
Yeah, no, I think he had it. Well, not. We might bleep all of this out.
We're not bleeping any of it out. I'm gonna stop the recording at exactly 1 hour, so there's no fat to trim off this episode.
I think it was hepatitis that he had.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, no, it's the hepatitis. He'll be fine.
No.
His liver might not be great, but he'll live.
Whose is? Am I right? Mine hurts right now. Okay, so your curb painting business. Do you have anything on the brewing around in the old imagination that you might be trying next?
Well, before the relaunch, we had a meeting that was
e-commerce based.
E-commerce, and also like updating the Dangerously Strange Studios website to include like services that each of us would be offering to potential clients that might want some services from us. As well as putting together a portfolio for Odin Beard Creative, which I've been at for like a year and I haven't done.
You haven't really slowed down on that. It's been impressive. You kind of still have a pretty high output on
I try and keep consistently putting at least one piece up a week for that. I've
clicked on a few of the links too to the people that you're doing it for, and like some of them have huge followings, like really impressive.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah. And some of those large following people like repost it.
Right.
Which is
dope.
Yeah, like I've had like 300,000 follower people repost my art on their page that I did of them. Didn't really get me anything, but
not to say that it won't trickle in over time.
Sure. And it does sometimes. Even ones that don't repost, because I tag them in the posts. So it shows up in their tagged section on their page. And sometimes I'll get, likes from that I can trace to see that it's clearly that somebody was going through their page looking at tagged posts. So that gets me, little trickles on older pictures.
Trickly.
But so I want to get the website for Odin Beard Creative finally built and start selling stickers and NFTs on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we know what an NFT is yet?
Everybody's making NFTs, so I figure at this point there's no reason not to. Whether we really know what they are or not.
Okay. I'll trust you.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to tell me how to do.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out who to, what service to use to mint them. Because when we first started talking about it, there was only a handful of sites to do that through. And they were mostly like invite only. Send us if you want to start doing this, send us your portfolio, send us your artist bio, send us your
because I imagine part of the allure of the industry in general was that it was kind of exclusive.
Right. Yeah. And you're buying fine art. Yeah. So we want to prove that you're a real artist.
Right. And if they let too many people in too fast, it's just going to be Instagram.
Right. Yeah. Instagram for money.
Yeah. Won't be long before they're selling for pennies instead of what they've been selling for.
I don't even know. I think sometimes they start off selling for pennies still, mostly. Especially like you're saying, now that it's growing,
Right.
it's like there's so much out there that just getting somebody to buy your shit at all is.
Yeah, it's going to turn into the celebrities will have all the leverage, and rich folks can be like, oh, fucking Jennifer Lopez made an NFT. I'll pay $8 for it, and then you're going to get 0.000000002 cents for your something you've slaved over for months.
Right. Right. Yeah. Which that's where I don't. There's an amount of it that's like, I'm still not. If I make an NFT, can I not use that image for anything else for money? If I make and sell an NFT, unknown.
Yeah,
I can't say.
And also, the service that you mentioned, I don't know what they're charging to do something like that.
I think it's free.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you got to pay $20 every time you mint one or something, then at what point, how many tries are you going to do before you're
right?
Like,
no, I think they get paid in the transactions. I think they get paid in the, a percentage of the purchase price.
Sure. Okay. That's not so bad.
Yeah. So art is still on my radar as far as potentially making me money and getting me off of the gig work.
Word.
But for now, I'm cool with the gig work. It's like a video game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of freedom to it. I can see you starting to exhibit some of the characteristics that I exhibit.
Sure.
Of a person that's working a ton. And, I don't want you to lose your gusto, kid.
Yeah. Gusto.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You're doing some adult ass shit,
Yeah.
Paying taxes and.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, taxes.
Taxes.
Coming up on
Did you file your taxes?
in May 17th.
Do you file taxes? How do you file taxes?
Yeah, I'm gonna be filing taxes.
Do you use your name? I'm just kidding.
I didn't make that much last year, but I made enough to file taxes. May 17th, though. Did you know? Do you know?
Mm-mm.
So it's COVID.
What?
COVID? Have you heard of it?
What about it?
Their tax day isn't until May 17th.
Yeah, we already filed ours.
That's good.
We wanted to get the money back quickly.
Sure.
It's quite nice to have.
Right.
Yes, ever since I had kids, like taxes are like a totally different thing now. Now it's like, I can't wait to file my taxes.
Right. Yeah. Get that little savings boost.
Yeah. And then they put through that legislation where it's even more beneficial this year to have dependents.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's going to be it'll be quite nice for a minute until the other shoe drops and those Democrats come for our guns. I don't know.
Right. That sounds right. Your guns and your tax money.
Yeah.
That's what the leftists want.
Because they gotta take care of all those lazies.
All those illegals.
Yeah. Who's going to open all the borders up?
That's what I heard.
Let all the French in.
That's what I heard.
Fucking their fried starches. Baguettes.
Is that a potato French fries joke?
French fry joke.
Okay. Pommes frites.
You struggled through that.
I think that's wrong, too. That's wrong.
Just beads of sweat. Pommes.
French.
It's always good to make fun of the French.
Yeah. You never did anything worthwhile.
They got those stripy shirts and those cool hats and the cigarettes that are on the end of the sticks and
yeah,
hairy women, right?
Oh, big time. They basically invented hairy women.
Yeah.
So I guess they did some worthwhile stuff.
There's some pretty hairy races out there. Top 3 hairy races, go.
Nope. I don't see hair.
Oh man.
Nope.
French.
Wait. But while we're on that topic,
Greek.
I can't think of anyone's name. What was Robert's girlfriend's name?
Robert who?
Robert.
Yeah. Robert who? Oh.
Robert from Little Caesars Pizza.
His name is Robert Paulson.
Yeah, okay.
Dolores.
Dolores! Oh, talk about Harry. Woo!
Gosh, those were some fuzzy arms. I'm surprised we didn't get more complaints about hair in the pizza.
Oh.
She didn't touch pizza.
I don't think she was shedding from her arms.
Yeah.
That much.
She also didn't
She didn't really work that much.
Yeah. Quick question. How old were we when we worked?
16?
16. Okay.
Yeah.
So roughly 16 or 17 years ago when you were like, what's Robert's last name? Out of all the Roberts,
Sure.
You're like, do you know this Robert with no information?
Harden.
Oh. Yeah. I wonder if he's still around. He seems like he would have stormed the Capitol.
He for sure seems like he would have stormed the Capitol. The last time I saw Robert Harden, he was working at the cafeteria at St. Joseph's Hospital. So
stayed in food service.
True
to his calling.
Yeah. He was a supervisor at Little Caesars. He wasn't a manager.
Was he an actual supervisor, or was he just boning the supervisor?
I think he was like a crew
lead or something.
Yeah.
That whole leadership structure didn't make any sense. It was like there was the actual manager and then her line guy that they're pretty sure they were just doing meth or something.
The woman.
Right.
And Roger.
Right.
I loved Roger.
Roger was great.
Yes, they both did meth
in
together
hindsight,
every day.
Tons of meth. And then they just stopped being around so much or got let go or something.
They got laid off, and that guy Eric came in. Eric Crane.
Yeah, he was there for a long time.
I liked that guy.
I don't remember him. I remember he had a stricter energy. Yeah.
You stopped working there shortly after he came on.
Probably right.
Yeah, right around that time.
Yeah, but anyways, to reference more people that you've never heard of or will never recognize, yeah, they got out of there, and then Dolores was running the show.
In between, yeah, before Eric came, Dolores was
yeah, I quit on Dolores' shift. That was very satisfying because she was quite ridiculous. She was quite ridiculous.
Yeah,
I can't recall specifically what sorts of things she was doing that pissed me off, but I remember she had an attitude that she did not deserve to have.
Yeah. Then she stopped working there too.
Yeah.
A little ways after you.
Stopped having relations with Robert Harden.
Uh-huh.
Did they have a baby, or was that somebody else's baby? She was pregnant for a minute.
Oh, I don't recall any of that.
I think she might have been married or something, and then her and Robert were just is
that a married in Mexico type situation? Her husband wasn't around?
Wait, she's Mexican? I'm sorry, I don't see her.
No, I mean, I wouldn't know, but I think if anything, her husband was probably from Mexico.
Well, I just remember her being pregnant. And then I'm like, did she have a baby with Robert? That doesn't add up. So I'm like, there must have been some other details.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe she just got fat.
She didn't get fat because the last time I saw her was she was working selling, at the flea market when there's a booth that's soap and household goods. At the flea market,
yeah,
but they're it's still used. It's, you know what I mean? It's bar soap that was 3 left in a box and was in somebody's cupboard for 10 years. So the paper is like yellow.
Yeah.
Right.
And she worked there.
And they're selling them individually by the bar.
She owned a small business.
Yeah, she was running a small business.
Okay. I'm remembering, by the way, I want to take a step back. I think I just saw her one time. Like after that, like years after that, she was pregnant. I don't think she was pregnant at Little Caesars. I'm like remembering now. I'm like, this is not the right mesh of details. But yeah, I think it was just like I saw her in a Sears or something.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit, she's hella pregnant.
She's hard to miss.
Yeah, she's got like a bird energy.
Mm-hmm.
Just like sharp features.
Maybe a bird skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like human skin stretched over like a pterodactyl.
Mm-hmm. And then just wrapped in hair.
Yeah, it was like dropping a Band-Aid in a barber shop.
Yep.
Like on her arms. Though.
She could be the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bird-shaped.
Bird-shaped. Hair Band-Aid. Okay, well, we're terrible people.
Yeah, have fun with those notes, Brad.
Yeah, Little Caesars Pizza.
Yeah, we've talked about Little Caesars Pizza a lot on this show.
Well, that was, that was one of our first. I wouldn't call it our origin story, but it's part of our origin story.
It's particularly an important part of our history because that's like the only time we've worked together. Right. Which I don't think we worked together that much, but like we shared some space sometimes. Yeah. There. And it was,
got me the job there. Well, you told me to come work there.
Yeah, I was like, don't hire anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, can you read still? And you were like, I don't know. Sure. Can you fake it?
I dropped out, but I can still read. I can at least read pizza.
Hey, man. You never know. I've forgotten how to read. Not like truly, but like when I read out loud, sometimes I'm like, whoa, I need to brush up on this a little bit, don't I?
Yeah. I don't read that much anymore, except for on my phone all day, every day.
Right, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
When I'm reading a child's book to my daughter,
and you're like, he.
I do like pre-read it before I read it out loud because I'm like, I can't embarrass myself in front of this toddler right now. She knows all the words, so I can't mess it up. Right. She'll stop me and she'll be like, you want to take that again?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you definitely should improve your reading skills if you're going to start writing children's books also.
I don't really have an issue with reading and writing in my head. Sure. It's just when you sprinkle a little bit of anxiety on my already shaky skills, it can get problematic. That's fair. So like, I can only imagine that if we took this to, we were doing some kind of live event, how that might work out. Yeah. So
that's why I'm more into the improv aspect of that.
For sure. You have charisma that I maybe don't have, but we'll figure it out.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I think we've got similar charismatic levels.
If we're talking about hairy women or AIDS, I'm like all over it, but there's, my topic matter is limited.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to gather some topic matter and come back to you after these messages.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
Listen in on the quirky conversations between a woman with opinions, convictions, and energy, and her man-child of a husband who brings it together with banter and the not-so-occasional moderately inappropriate response. Mama and the Man-Child, featuring Ben and Becky, is now available at dangerouslystrange.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So what's up?
Well,
superheroes, masculines. They have regular jobs, but they have superhero technology. They're all stealing, right?
I wish I had superhero technology that I could steal with.
What? I'm saying, do you think that they probably also steal? They have to.
How are they paying for all that superhero technology?
Yeah, and it was like Peter Parker's like 22, you know.
Well, he did wrestling. He did some underground professional wrestling.
Okay.
To kind of boost
that was his like startup capital, but
right.
You know.
But also, he didn't have to pay for his superhero technology. He just happened into it.
Well, it depends on which version. I mean, I remember seeing a version when I was a kid where the web was like a mechanism.
That's true. The web, most versions of Spider-Man, the web is a device that he made.
Yeah. I was actually confused when the live action movie, Tobey Maguire movie came out, and that was like not the thing.
Yeah, and it was just like he had a weird...
So he just comes out of his wrist?
Yeah,
like a scab?
He had a gland now that could do that.
Is that psoriasis on his wrist? What is going on here?
No, it was really gross in that movie. I do remember that. It was gross. Have you seen the new...
No.
Well, it's not that new. The animated, that computer animated one, Into the Spider-Verse?
Netflix, right? I don't think so.
But I think it is on Netflix, yeah.
I think we've put it on several times, and I've just never stayed in the room.
Oh, it's good.
I hear from like lots of adults that it's a good movie.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah.
It's not only is it just like well written, well acted, whatever. It's also gorgeous and super cool. Like the art,
how colorful and shit.
It's super colorful, and the like overlap from the different universes, like.
Is that Spider-Man steal? Does that Spider-Man steal, do you think?
Spider-Man steal?
Does that Spider-Man from that version, does he steal, do you think?
Probably not. He's a child. He's a young man.
Characteristics.
I don't think he's a thief. The pig one probably steals.
There's a pig Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah. Spider-Pig. Not from the Simpsons movie.
Okay.
There's actually a...
Good callback. That Simpsons movie was a really good movie. So what other... I'm trying to think of another superhero that's masked that would make sense with this whole bit that I was kicking off.
About them being thieves?
Yeah. Bruce Wayne doesn't make sense. He's a billionaire, obviously.
Rich. Masked.
Superman, they try to get us to buy the fact that his mom made his costume.
Yeah.
But it's like fireproof and shit.
Well, he's fireproof.
Yeah, but his clothes do not automatically get to be fireproof then.
Right. Yeah.
So she just like made that with a sewing machine? No, he probably had to get some things done to that, and he didn't do it on a journal. He's not a good journalist. Ever did you ever hear them be like, great story, Clark.
You killed it this week.
They never even talked about it.
I don't even think they give him I don't think he's ever written a headline article.
Yeah, he's like, probably just coupons or some shit. I don't know.
yeah. Also, not masked.
Unmasked.
If anything, he takes the mask off to become Superman.
Yeah. Poorest execution.
Yeah. And nobody knows.
Like, I think they know. I think that the whole Superman thing is in his head. He's just dreaming about him being a super person in this world. And they're all just humoring him because he's got an IQ of like 59.
They're like, yeah, fly, Clark, fly. Yeah. He's like, yay!
That's not the Daily Planet. It's like a Walgreens.
Fly, Clark, fly.
He's got a single mother, and she just has to bring him to work with her. And he's like, "Mommy, I'm Superman." And then he takes off his, those like bifocal reading glasses.
Can't see. No, and they're like thick prescription glasses.
Right.
He takes them off, he can't see.
So he really does look completely different to himself in the mirror.
And he thinks, that clicked for me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this is the perfect, nobody will know.
Because look at this. I can't even see what color shirt I have on anymore.
Right.
This is amazing.
I was thinking more like just, he probably he thinks he's so fast because everything's a blur when he takes his glasses off.
Yeah. He thinks he's bulletproof because those gunshots he's hearing is just like somebody dropping something in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I didn't even feel that.
I was thinking about Thor because we just finished watching the second Thor movie.
Yeah, Thor's a god, though, right?
Thor's a god. Mjolnir's a hammer. And sometimes he calls it to him from very far away.
Yeah.
Very far. Like...
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got god lungs. You can explain anything away with God.
Well, no, I mean, it's a hand. He's got like... he's basically a magnet for that thing.
Right.
Because it's alive. It can feel him. When he wants it, it comes to him.
Yeah, they're like
right?
kindred souls or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's a piece of him. Right.
But how is that thing not just murdering people on its way to his hand?
Have you seen The Boys?
I saw the first episode of The Boys. I saw it
just like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was watching it. It was like, how is this not just like plowing holes through people and like blowing up people's houses and shit?
They should just start doing that in those movies, but like don't actually show the people, just show the dry hammer, and then by the time it gets to him, it's just covered in dripping blood.
Yep.
Good point.
On a related note, though, in the third Iron Man movie, at the beginning of the third Iron Man movie, Tony is finishing up a new suit that he's got some shit embedded in his arms that he can like do a pose and it makes the pieces fly to him.
Yeah.
Which those are controlled by Jarvis. They're like little, each one is like a little rocket ship flying to him. So that I understand that's not gonna blow anybody to pieces on the way to him because it's guided.
Yeah. But like, I mean, very easily could like rip a shoulder out of his socket or something if he does it wrong.
Sure. But the scene in that movie, maybe a little more than halfway through, where his house is getting blown up and gets hit with the first rocket hits the house and he and Pepper are getting like blasted, slow motion blasted back. And he like does the move and makes it so that the suit flies on and wraps her up and protects her while he gets just like thrown into the wall. Very cool move. Like that scene was dope.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Sounds cool. But you know, she's got a little bit of a big nose.
Could have cut her face clean off.
Could have cut her face clean off. And then she just has to finish the movie like that because it's not fatal.
Right.
Probably.
Right.
And he has to decide how much he liked that face.
That's a good point. I was thinking the same thing was, how did it fit her perfectly? Like, how did it all just clasp right onto her?
Yeah. Your $1 billion doesn't change the crazy length of her arms and legs.
Right.
You know?
I think he's a good foot shorter than her.
It seems like it, yeah. She could dunk on him.
Right.
What else? Captain America? He just gets a suit, like, sponsored by the U.S. military in the 50s or something, but it's made out of...
Well, he was a little guy.
Right.
That got juiced with, like, radiation that turned him into...
Yeah, they gave him...
Super
they gave
powers.
Him, you know, whatever they give LeBron.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They put him in a hyperbaric chamber. And filled it with...
Strong juice.
Strong juice. And then he was strong.
Yeah, they could just make a bunch of him, right? Did they try to do that in the movie? I'm sure they did.
I don't know why they didn't. Like, why there wasn't more of those.
They were just like, oh, good job, us.
Yeah, I think part of the thing was right after they turned him into Captain America, the doctor scientist guy who was in charge of that program got killed.
Oh.
Maybe. I know I just only watched that movie like a week ago or like 2 weeks ago, but I already can't tell you what happened to that actor, that character in that movie.
Also,
Stanley Tucci.
If you're in, is it the Justice League or what are they called?
The Avengers?
The Avengers. If you're in the Avengers, do you not immediately take your first opportunity to shoot Bruce Banner in the head when he's not hulked out? Because he's a liability. I feel like all the time.
You can't shoot Bruce Banner in the head.
Yeah, why not?
Because he turns into the Hulk.
When you shoot him in the head?
Yes. Like,
what a bummer. What if he cut his head off?
Nope.
Really?
On the swing, he turned into the Hulk. Like, the Hulk is the boss of that scenario.
Decapitation doesn't do it?
You won't be able to hit him in the neck with the thing you're trying to cut his head off with. Like, no.
The system will just respond that quickly?
Yes. The Hulk comes out. The Hulk is...
I don't like the Hulk.
Yeah, more or less indestructible. And Bruce Banner by extension, because the Hulk lives inside of him.
Right.
You know?
It's all up in that ass.
Bruce Banner tried to shoot himself in the head.
Oh.
Because he's a liability.
I've got to go watch all of the movies again. I'm not going to.
That doesn't happen in the movie, but I think he talks about it in the first Avengers movie, that he tried to off himself. And
nothing up.
No, he turned into the Hulk.
Yeah. Is there constant litigation against him, like at all times, just for sheer property damage alone?
Yeah, that's probably why they had to go find him in South America to bring him onto the Avengers.
Yeah, who picks up the tabs? Tony Stark probably has to pick up all of the tabs, right?
Maybe.
Oh, Scam Likely's calling me.
Oh,
it's been a long time since I talked to that fool.
What up, Scam? Oh, it's like fan.
Yeah.
That's funny. It was an unintentional funny. Like most of the times that I'm funny, I'd say. To at least 3/4 of the times that I'm funny, it was not on purpose.
Well, yeah, your brand of funny is that you're just...
Stupid?
No, you just do funny things.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're authentic.
Yeah.
That's like the best kind of funny. Because you don't ever have to act.
Yeah, I don't have to prepare to be funny.
Right. You just are like, what are we talking about?
Right. But then the problem with that is then somebody's like, be funny. I'm like...
Right. That's why you don't get paid for it.
Right.
Because you can't do that yet.
Right.
But you will someday.
Maybe.
Could be. It's an avenue.
You never know.
Still into Supreme?
I like some Supreme stuff.
You like Supreme?
I like the Supreme stuff I have.
So you're a Supremist?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm a Supremist. Even for Supreme. And especially not for any color.
Yeah, like it.
Just to be clear.
Whatever. Just thought I'd ask.
I'm a... Nope.
No. I'm not touching it.
Not even going to try and make a... No.
Yeah. Moral of the story is this superheroes are definitely not all above board. I think there's a lot of... At the bare minimum, there's tax fraud.
Oh, no doubt tax fraud. No doubt. I imagine they're not claiming their tips.
Do you think people talk about Bruce Wayne the way we talk about, like, Jeff Bezos? Just like the wealth gap and all this shit. And he's just like, I'm fucking saving your lives. And they're like, no, you're saving like 8 lives a month in your town.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Hire more cops.
Yeah. And then he probably spends like a good amount of Batman time too, like breaking up unions and shit. Fuck, man. You gotta fund this. You think this is a right to work state? Boom, boom, boom. Sure. You think fucking rocket cars are cheap?
Yeah, there's definitely no union at Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah, it's probably like if you had the breakdown of their payment structure, you know, probably like 60% of what they're paying out is Alfred. Right? It's just like hush money. He's got so much leverage in that situation. He's like, I make all your shit and keep all your secrets.
Well, Alfred and what's Morgan Freeman?
Yeah,
the scientist, the research and development guy.
By the way, Morgan Freeman, what is his name
in Batman?
Because he basically is Alfred. Like, he functions as Alfred.
No, they're two different.
No, they're different. But like Alfred in the old shit made all the shit, right? He like made the.
I think
He was like the personal mechanic. And
I think he facilitated.
Oh, okay. He's made phone calls.
The making. I think he was more like Q in James Bond wasn't making that stuff.
That name didn't age well.
But yeah, right. But he was always the one that was like, and here's your laser watch and your laser car and your laser shoes. It was always lasers, right? Wasn't it?
Because in the 90s, lasers was the peak of technology that we could come up with in our imagination.
Yeah. Before that, it was like everything had oil slicks in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, if you go back, you could solve almost all their problems with like an iPhone.
Right. But yeah, Q wasn't, I think he was more hands-on than Alfred in the making. But I'm saying I think Alfred and Q are kind of similar where it's like, Alfred's like, don't forget your laser watch.
He's like, I have spikes on my arm. What am I doing?
But yeah, that scientist guy was the guy making the stuff.
Yeah.
Which in the cartoon from when we were kids was like a fat old Eastern European man, not a Morgan Freeman type.
I don't recall, but Morgan Freeman, I love his character in those new movies he does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever disliked a Morgan Freeman flick. He's one of those.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's because he started. I think he carries with him the energy of like I didn't get famous until I was like 50.
Right.
I think he's like got this humility that he can't shake, which serves his characters well.
Mm-hmm.
And the voice, of course.
Yeah, I mean, don't you just wish he was your dad?
A little.
Like,
I like my dad, but like,
every Morgan Freeman character I wish was my dad.
Yeah, like, Dad, you could go use a few more moles, you know? I love you, but if you could just add a little bass to your voice.
Mm-hmm. Say more wise stuff.
Yeah, you can just open-ended questions. Yeah, Morgan's the man.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the like absolute criminal superheroes like Blade and like Deadpool, where they're just murderers,
right?
Like straight up.
Mm-hmm. Somebody was going around shooting in one of these movies I was watching. Punisher, yeah, is a straight up. I mean, he's a criminal. But no, one of the Avengers movies, there was, I guess it was probably a bad guy that was just shooting people. I don't know why what I'm thinking of.
They should do like a series where the superheroes start systematically getting canceled. Like cancel culture. It's like, so back in 1999, Spider-Man got a unsolicited hand job at a CD. Canceled.
Okay, rewind just for a second. Unsolicited hand job?
Like he solicited a hand job. I guess is what I meant to say.
Like either an unsolicited hand job to me is either
they sprung a hand job.
Somebody sprung a hand job on him, in which case I don't think you should get canceled for that. If somebody gives me a hand job that I didn't ask for, that's not on me. Okay?
I mean, it's on you if you get all the way finished a little bit.
Listen, I'm not gay. You jerked me off. Okay. But then the other far less explainable end of that would be if it was an unsolicited hand job that he did get canceled for. He raped somebody in the hand? Like, give me the logistics on an unsolicited hand job.
Perhaps the hand job was sprung on him, right? In scenario A. He's like, oh, yikes, okay, I guess we're doing this. And then it comes out later that person was 17.
Oh, okay. But that's still solicit. Like, they gave
he didn't
it to
ask
him.
for it.
He didn't ask for it, but they gave it to him.
Yeah.
So it's
and he accepted it with his complicit silence.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Or maybe, I mean,
which is terrible
maybe
because Spider-Man
like,
had 100 million followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he had real influence.
Mm-hmm. Or I guess like he could love like, you know,
Did a lot of work with the
somebody,
NAACP.
you know, we're in an elevator and somebody like accidentally grabbed on it.
Mhm.
And then he was like, oh, it's on now. Right? It's there. That's what it would be. It would be like he thought he was getting a hand job, but he wasn't. But then he finished. That's an unsolicited hand job.
All right, Paul. Got that all covered.
Yeah.
I'll choose my words more carefully going forward.
Yeah, at least you gave me something to work with for 3 minutes.
I think your tan milk is kicking in.
That tan milk.
That doesn't even look like coffee.
It was more coffee before. It's because I don't mix in the whipped cream.
Mm.
So the bottom's always a lot creamier. Or I guess the top, when it gets to the bottom, it's creamier.
Got it. You're a creamy bottom.
Creamulum.
Creamulum.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a break and then we'll come back with some final thoughts.
Sure. It's
All
final thoughts time. It's, yeah. Is it? What's? Yeah. All right.
You want to do a little more of that?
I think this was. I think this was a better episode than last week.
Yeah, I mean, I learned the meaning of unsolicited.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was wrong about my original announcement that this was going to be worse than last week.
Yeah, if you hung in there, then you got a treat.
Yeah, you got some classic terrible things said by us.
Anyways, we'll be back. Stay tuned.
Listen to this ad for adult diapers.
Creamulum.
Or maybe something that Bradley says about what we've said already. Because that was pretty funny. Did you hear that last week?
Oh.
Oh, I'll have to have you listen to that. All right. We'll be back.
Bye.
Does COVID quarantine have you feeling the blues? Do you want to boost your immunities and avoid this terrible disease? Does one shot sound like too little? What about two? Well, if you're looking for more than that, we have you covered. Get your shot at your local pharmacy with the Johnson & Johnson & Johnson & Johnson & Johnson & Johnson & Johnson Immunity Booster for COVID. Tell them that Benny David sent you.
We back.
We're back.
Yeah, we were just talking about the return to school. We're out here in California. I'm sure most of you listening to us at this juncture are probably in California as well, but we know we got some fans. I recently saw we had a little bit of a fan base forming up in Canada.
Is that right?
Yeah. And
I haven't been looking at that part of the analytics to know that.
Canada and the usual suspects, you know.
Mm-hmm. We're on a good trajectory at least by the analytics.
Yeah, seems like we're trending in the right direction.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, COVID, you guys know all about that. School's opening a couple days a week, at least, in our district.
Mm-hmm.
You're not dealing with that directly, but your counterpart,
Yeah.
I'm sure, is having to make these kinds of decisions.
They're not going back.
They're not going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were kind of in that camp, like, of being like, we're just not going to do it this year. But as soon as my son, got wind that was on the table,
Mm-hmm.
it was like you couldn't contain his excitement, which was hard to work against.
Sure.
Just given the social,
Oh, yeah.
just them being in the house for a year. And you just being like, oh, wait, he's excited to go to school?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's exciting for you.
Let's reassess this. I mean, we can try it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't lose any ground if, it seems weird. Just pull them right back out. But
Right.
it's going to be...
I think it'll be all right.
I mean,
There's not going to be a ton of kids there.
there's not going to be a ton of kids there. And if I'm being honest with myself, I've really kind of changed my view on the whole COVID thing as people are getting vaccinated. And, I'm a little more comfortable with, I feel like I'm back in the gym
Right.
That's a thing I've done.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He's going to have his mask on.
he's gonna have his mask on. It's a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good listener in that regard. I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
Right.
Yeah, so we're gonna see. But yeah, it's a big step because you kind of just. It was the biggest deal in the world for them to be home from school, and now it's like this whole anxiety around the opposite of that.
Right.
But no, I'm excited. I'm excited for him to do that, and I'm excited for him to be able to ask questions again.
Yeah.
I don't know. This whole homeschooling thing has been, you just kind of have to trust that they'll do it.
Right.
It's like such a hard thing to do as a parent. They've been doing fine, but it's, we're gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so if he just decided he didn't like school anymore, one of us would just have to quit our jobs or just let him not do school anymore.
Sure. He's 11. He can make that decision.
He's 13, but yeah. Not the gusto of an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Doesn't look a day over 10.
I think I'm work in the factory.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the plan based on Xbox.
Sure.
Anyways, that's all. What else? Anything else significant happening in our state? I know the numbers are starting to kind of creep back up, actually.
Are they? I haven't. Last I looked,
I mean,
they were pretty much plateaued here in our area.
Yeah. I think, it's been 2 weeks or so since they lowered our tier.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
People are out, doing things.
Yep.
So.
But also, I saw a chart that was like, we're up to 2.5 million doses a week.
Yeah, and they're about to expand the eligibility
right
again.
Yeah.
I think this week, and then again the following week. They said by May, I think everybody's going to be able to just
right
go get it. I mean, obviously,
that's what Sleepy Joe said is supposed to happen. So
Sleepy Joe, it's funny. I haven't watched like his speeches at length because he's just not as compelling as old Donald, but he's like such a funny guy to watch talk. He just kind of like gives up on it sometimes. He's just like, you know what I mean? Like just moves on, and they're like, we don't know what you mean.
The only thing I've seen recently from him is falling up the stairs into the airplane.
You know what?
Which, that's
in defense of Joe. Stairs are tricky.
They're steep stairs too. They're extra steep. Those particular stairs are extra steep. I'm not going to cut him that much slack because
it was like 3 times.
It was like over and over again.
But also, I've done that.
Sure.
And I'm in my 30s. So
sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's so much an old thing, but it probably is.
Yeah.
Also, he'd be a little cocky on him. He started talking shit on Donald in the stairs a while back, so I feel like it was part of his brand to be a little aggressive with stairs, and he finds excuses to like jog and stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? You're being fast and loose with your footwork.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Sometimes it's gonna happen 3 times in a row on camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw one where they edited in a Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Going past him and throwing bananas.
I'm gonna have to find that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull that up and shoot it to you. But I mean, old people in stairs, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Kamala's still unscathed, right? She's.
I haven't seen any memes about her.
She's still running around in Timberlands. That's precarious. I haven't really seen anything from her, honestly. But I haven't been watching the news super close. But one thing I did read about her is that, however far we are into the presidency, 2 months or whatever, and she still hasn't been able to move into her vice president house
because COVID.
I don't know, like renovations or something. I'm like, what's being done? Like, yeah, we gotta take out all that like old plantation shit or whatever. It's like it's a vibe, you know?
Yeah, maybe she probably doesn't like wainscoting.
Yeah,
so you gotta pull that all off the walls.
Yeah. She's like, I want dimmers in all these rooms.
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah,
figure that out. It's like this dishwasher's not big enough. Do I look like I'm gonna wash dishes? Her husband's like, please.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen, again, most of my political news comes from memes, and I haven't seen any memes of her. So I don't know. Can't say much.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good that we solved all the country's problems.
Yeah.
You're 50% vaccinated, correct?
I am 50% vaccinated.
Are you going to do half Moderna, half Pfizer?
I was thinking about doing the cocktail. Yeah, I was going to switch it up halfway. I like that meme you posted of, was that you that posted it? Took all the vaccines. Yeah, that was good.
That might be my move.
Mm-hmm. I think you should get the Johnson & Johnson at least first, just to be fully covered in one, and then go get one of the other ones to be really covered. Because Johnson & Johnson, you're fully covered. But like,
yeah, that's just that's the Slackers one, which is on brand. I'll probably get that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do Johnson & Johnson first as like a, that's like my appetizer.
Right.
And then I'm going to probably eat the meat of the meal next, which in my mind would be the AstraZeneca.
Oh,
let's get the blood clots. Let's get the blood out of the way.
Right.
And if my system is resilient enough to handle that, then I'll just probably gangbang 4 shots of the other 2. Just get them in there. Just
all at once.
All at once. Yeah.
Fuck the waiting period.
No, come on.
You're just going to get Moderna and Pfizer.
I'm going
both doses one day of
IV
each.
drips, one in each arm. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to be, Neo.
Yeah. Or dead. Probably dead.
I mean, Fauci said it's safe, so.
Huh, that's true. That's true.
So take whatever you can, I think was the quote. So I'm going to do that. I'm American and get it all.
Right. You get a job.
Go to Canada and see what they got going on up there.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe just get like the Johnson & Johnson one at every pharmacy that'll give it to you.
Yeah.
If you don't have access to the others.
It'll look like a coffee shop stamp card. Just have like 8 of them, like Johnson & Johnson & Johnson & Johnson & Johnson & Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Yeah, we're losing steam. I'm sure you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
We're both sick boys. We're sickies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not sicky.
I'm just a tired boy these days.
You just need a nap.
Mm-hmm. I could use a nap, but it's time to go grocery shopping.
Yeah. Well, maybe next time.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to episode 51, or the first episode of the next 50.
Right. If you want to see stuff about this episode, you can go to dangerouslystrange.com/listen/ I can't tell them because we haven't titled it yet.
Yeah.
Scratch
Just go
that.
to dangerouslystrange.com.
Yeah.
Not super hard to navigate.
Right.
Check us out at Dangerously Strange on Instagram if you haven't already. At Danger Strange on Twitter, Facebook, all that.
Lefty Odenbeard on Twitter and Instagram. Benny David 88 on Twitter. The Real Benny David on Instagram.
Yep. That's all the stuff. You can rewind it if you didn't jot it down just then. We love you guys. We'll see you next week with some more classic Dangerously Strange banter.
All that.
There we go.
Bye.
Bye.
The Dangerously Strange podcast is a production of Dangerously Strange Studios. Our theme music was created by Rick Russell. Special thanks to Nikki Costa, Mondo Martinez, Bradley Church, and of course, Becky Stone. Thanks for listening.